Well, hello everybody. Hope everybody is doing good today. I thought for a change, I'd make some donuts, some glazed donuts. And this is made with yeast, and I'm not baking it in the oven. I'm gonna fry them. Instead of frying them in a little oil in a heavy pan on the stove, I'm gonna use my deep fryer. Okay? Very easy, not many ingredients. You're going to use 2 1/4 teaspoons of the instant yeast, and you're going to want to put that in your cup of milk, and you want to warm up your milk first, okay, and then dump your yeast in. You're going to end up needing 1/3 cup of sugar, but out of that 1/3 cup of sugar, take out 1 tablespoon and add to your warm milk and your yeast. Stir it up and then just let it set for 5 minutes, because it only needs 5 minutes to proof, because it's the instant yeast. It doesn't take as long as the active dry yeast, okay? And then when that's proofed, in 5 minutes you'll know. You can see how it's all frothy and foamy at the top. Then you know that's good yeast, it's activated and it's working. And we're going to dump it right into our stand mixer. Now you want to make sure when you warm up your milk, you don't want it too hot, because you'll kill the yeast. And if it's not warm enough, it's not going to activate it. I stick the tip of my finger into it, and if it's nice, slightly good and warm, then it's ready to go, okay? All right, now we're going to add the rest of the 1/3 cup of sugar, minus 1 tablespoon we had already put in for the milk and yeast. 2 eggs. 6 tablespoons of melted butter, unsalted. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And then you need about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. That's optional. And I just grated up 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, because nutmeg's very powerful, so you don't need only just a little bit. Okay, and to that you're going to end up needing a total of about 4 cups or so of flour. I'm going to start off first. Let me mix this up, and then I'm going to add 2 cups of flour first out of the 4 cups. I put 2 cups in after this mixes up. Okay, now let's add in a couple cups of flour. We'll let that mix up good. And then we can add the other 2 cups after that mixes up good. Now let's add in the last 2 cups. Mix that up good. And then you're going to need, after the donuts are fried, you can either put them on a rack that's put onto a baking sheet and set your donuts on it like that. And then you can make a glaze. You're going to need a couple cups of confectionery powdered sugar. You're going to need a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a 1/3 cup of milk. But I'm not going to quite put the whole 1/3 cup in until I mix it up good. So you don't want it too thin. You want it to be able to stay on your donut, okay? So the consistency, just slowly add your milk to it to it's where you like it. Okay, now I'm going to change hooks from my mixer to my dough hook, and then I'm going to let this knead for about oh gosh, I want to say about 7 minutes. You'll be able to tell because the dough is going to still be slightly sticky. It's going to start releasing from the inside of the bowl and coming together. Okay. All right, let's get all this off. Okay. Let's put the dough hook on. And now we're just going to knead it for about 7 minutes on low. Okay, it's kneaded for 7 minutes. It's all come together. Just want to take everything right off your dough hook. And that's what it looks like. Okay. These should make about a dozen donuts. About 3.5 inch. And then of course you got your donut holes. Okay, now what you're gonna do, and you know your dough's ready. It's just slightly sticky, and that's what you want. And then when you're pushing it, it just gives. And then you can also do what they call the window pane test to make sure your dough's ready. You just stretch it out. Just keep stretching it. And then you're going to hold it up towards the light and see if it's see-through. Nice and thin, and it is. Okay, now what we're going to do, I just use some Crisco and paper towel and just wipe my bowl real well. You want to get a good sized bowl, and you're going to put it in there, and you want to coat the dough. I just roll it around a little bit, and then I flip it over, and then I take my hand, I get the excess shortening Crisco from the bowl and just put it onto the dough, just like that. And that's what it looks like. And then we're going to let it double in size. And it could be anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, okay? So we're going to cover it in plastic wrap. And then we're just going to put a towel over it and let it double in size. And then we'll go to the next step. Okay, my donut dough has risen. You see how nice that's come out. Okay, now we're going to lightly flour the counter. I'm going to punch it down and I'm going to put it right on there. Okay, now I'm going to put a little flour over the top of it. And I'm going to use a rolling pin. And I'm going to roll it out to about, about a 1/2 inch. Okay, that looks good. All right, now you can use a donut cutter, and if you don't have one, don't worry, because you can just use the glass, the rim, and use that to cut out, and then just find something a little smaller to make a hole in the center, okay? I'm gonna actually use this. It's about 3 inch. And then I'm going to take this little donut center one that broke off of one of my old ones and see if I can't use that. And see if I can't get it out. There we go. We'll put the little donut holes off to the side because they're only going to take like 30 seconds to fry. Okay. I'm just going to, you can get a, actually, why don't I do that? this baking sheet that I had all set up anyway. We'll set these on here until I get them all cut out. And I'll put the donut hole over there. Okay, I think that's a good size. I was gonna go with a 3-inch one. Well, I guess I could make one like that for little Sophia. It's an old one. Should probably break down and get some new ones, but let's see. Well, that's all right. That's a good size. And the little donut holes are so cute. Okay, these are just going to be a glazed donut, so and it helps. Yeah, I got a little bit of that. There we go. It helps if you flour your cutter too. All right, one of these days I might invest in a new one. But it's working good enough for me. Just have to keep fixing it. And just keep going like that until you get them all out. It only takes like a minute or two. I want to do some this size. It takes only a minute or two to fry your donuts on each side, and then about 30 seconds just to do the little tiny donut holes. Okay. And then if leftover dough, just roll back up into a ball and roll it out to about a 1/2 inch thickness. And you want to, if you're using a deep fryer, you want to get that set to like 375. Or you could use do it on the stove, put some oil in a pan. Nice, good, heavy one. Probably about 1/3 full. Okay, I can go ahead and start frying them. And I like to get out another baking sheet with a rack on it and put the cooked donuts on it. And then for our glaze, we want to just drop right in nice, like so. You don't want to overcrowd your donuts, okay? Just do a few at a time. All right, that's good. Now back to this one. Yes, almost like not quite sharp enough. Want to keep it floured too, that helps. Okay? But like I said, if you don't have a donut cutter, then just use a small glass. Okay, then you have your scraps left over. Just roll it all back up. All right, let me get these turned. Because they don't take long. This one's a little bit darker than what I wanted, but I got busy talking. But you don't want to, like I said, it doesn't take long at all to cook them. Okay? And just take and roll it all back up like that. Okay, one side's going to be a little bit darker than the other, but that's okay. Alright, get your baking pan with a rack. And just put them right on that. If you're going to glaze these, which I'm making glazed donuts, so we're going to glaze them, you ought to do it while they're still warm. Okay? Let's throw a couple more in. Doesn't take long at all. And it takes even less time for your donut holes. All right, let's give that a quick roll out. It's really easy. And just flip them over and they start getting nice and golden. And then just keep going until you have no more dough left. Okay, let's take these out. Make sure you don't overcrowd them, okay? I wouldn't do no more than probably 4 at a time. It doesn't take long. Okay, as soon as I get the last of these in, then we're going to make the glaze. And I'm going to use what's left here. I'm just going to round it up with my hand like that. Flatten a little bit. We're going to make a little bit bigger of a one. Okay? Just like that. Okay, let's get the last of these in. And then we'll make our glaze. Okay. Kids will enjoy these. Okay. Now let's throw the balls in. Nice and easy. Just about done. Figured it'd just make a nice little treat for a change. It's been a while since they've had any. All right, let me get something. Now, you want to glaze your donuts while they're still warm, okay? Don't let them cool down. Okay, these are done. We'll just throw them right in there, just like that. Okay, now let's make our glaze. Okay, and here I have a couple cups of confectionery powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, and I have a 1/3 cup of milk in here, but I'm not going to quite use it all just yet. Let me stir this up in. I don't want it so thin, it's just gonna, you know. So let me get this mixed up in and see if we're gonna need the whole 1/3 or not. Actually, I think that's good. I didn't use quite it all. Maybe, oh, a tablespoon left over. Okay, now take your donut, just drop it in one side and then the other, just like that. And the excess will just drip off. Okay, and same thing with the donut balls. Just drop them in, let the excess drip off. Okay, let me finish getting the rest of these just dunked. And then I'll show you the outcome. Okay. Okay, the donuts are done. And these are the donut holes. And that's that. And as you can see, donut making is pretty easy. All right, everybody. You take care and God bless. Bye-bye.